Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 17.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Mimi is not happy that Ayo picked Uma for the kiss.
Fair.
She finds it embarrassing, and she plans on building a barrier tonight in the bed.
I don't know why you're building a barrier for. It's not like y'all was making out anyway. It's not like y'all wasn't doing anything but sleeping in there anyway.
Exactly. Uma was shocked that Ayo chose her.
Mm-hmm.
Jess thought that he would either pick herself or Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie and Tiffany are pleased about how the game went.
Yeah.
Harriett doesn't think Ronnie thinks before he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Jess said that how he was behaving was pretty much trying too hard, and Harriett thinks he's acting. Literally, y'all, Tiffany and Ronnie are sitting on the day beds, which is right next to where the girls are talking, so they can hear everything they're saying.
Yeah.
Ronnie says, "Who's acting?" Walks over to the girls, and he says, "Look, I met somebody that I've gotten to know and that I'm clicking with. How am I acting?" Harriett tells him that he wasn't a part of this conversation. Go back to where you were. She wasn't even talking about him. Well, Jess thinks that he's trying too hard to prove he's got his head in the game. Everyone is saying that he's a mess. Ronnie takes Tiffany inside. He tells the guys what transpired outside with Harriett. He says that he's the one who got the prize, and it's Tiffany.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I thought it was a little bit dramatic. I mean, I understand with Ronnie being annoyed, but honestly, it's odd. It's weird. Like, you were cool with Jess. You were interested in Harriett. Now Tiffany, the new girl, is here, and honestly, she's not giving much of any type of personality. So it is kind of shocking of you really like this girl so much that you can't kiss nobody and play the games, right? It's a little weird. It is weird.
He's a changed man. He was in the streets. He was a guy that was in the streets that was basically a womanizer. He found the Lord. He found one woman, and he says, "I'm a changed man. I'm not going to be what I was," and things like that. And Harriett, you had a chance to confront him, but you didn't. And now at the end of the day, you feel some type of way. I think Ronnie feels vindicated. Yeah. He's like, you know what? Y'all girls can go over there and have y'all little girl talk. I'm going to be over here with Tiffany as a changed man, you know?
So Omar, Tiffany, and Matilda are talking. Ronnie is telling them that apparently I'm acting because I like somebody.
Yeah.
What you said to Jess is what Matilda is saying to him is what made people think, you know, that something was a little bit off.
Yeah.
He kissed Jess, but he also whispered to her, like, that's what you get for choosing Sean. He says that's his banter. That's how he talks. He goes back and forth with people all day. He's not going to change how he is. Harriett tries to go over to pull Ronnie for a chat to squash everything, but he says he's not ready.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, you go talk on my terms. Because at the end of the day, you go be affected by it, not me. Not me. Go ahead.
Well, Uma's chatting with Will, and she asked Will, "Do you think it was kind of muggy, like kind of shady for Ayo to kiss me?" And Will, not really. He's like, I mean, it was just a peck. Like, it wasn't nothing for real. Uma doesn't feel that way towards Ayo anymore.
Yeah.
She would have picked anybody except for him if she was in his position. And she's like, just imagine about how that would probably make Mimi feel.
Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because, as we know, Uma don't want to kiss nobody, or she overstates what a kiss mean. Yeah. So Will over there like, it was just a peck, but she's like, no, it's like, you know, he kissed me, like you know, we're kissing, and it's like, you know, that's what adults do, especially in these challenge games. But I do understand the point of Ayo really could have chose any other girl. Yeah. Literally any other girl except Uma. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts were the same. Like, he should have copped out. He's so hell-bent on being honest and wanting to play the game right, and I'm not going to lie when it comes to the game. And I'm just like, honestly, Ayo, like, it would have been better to save Mimi's feelings to not do that. But that's pretty much kind of what Mimi says at the end of the episode, is like, I wish he would have thought more about me, like, emotionally instead of logically. Because if you were thinking about how she would feel, you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is growing pains of their relationship. Maybe he's like, hey, we're playing a game. I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to lie about something stupid like this and things like that. But I'm just like, hey, do you cherish your peace of mind? Because I cherish my peace of mind over anything, you know?
So Joey's telling Ayo that Mimi is going to be upset.
Yeah.
Ayo says that he could have kissed anybody, but he didn't. Joey was like, you literally could have kissed the new girl.
Exactly.
Ayo says that he liked Uma. He was in a love triangle with her. They did have a connection. He's not involved in her anymore. And he just feels like he shouldn't have to cop out in a game. He just wanted to be honest.
Well, that's why Mimi built that little bed fort she got in the house. Here's the thing. Ayo has this charm where when he's talking even about this, you want to believe him, right? You're like, okay, he's a guy of some type of moral. He has some morals about him. He's not gonna lie about something as petty as this. Okay. But at the same time, man, you are basically setting yourself up for a big fall, because now, as we go see in this episode, when he does have that conversation with Mimi, you cannot make this type of mistake again, right? Like ever again. And we are early in the season, so it's like he understands, but he's trying to justify it by saying like, who else did I have a love triangle with? And that's the point. You don't kiss somebody that you was in a love triangle with, you know?
Mm-hmm. So Omar and Matilda talk. Yeah. They're talking about love languages. Hers is physical touch and words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. Well, Sean decides to get up and steal Matilda.
Come here.
And they end up going to the hideaway. Yeah. Sean is sitting down talking to her, and he's like, look, I couldn't stop smiling when you walked in. He's like a kid in a sweet shop. Sean got some type of thing with sweets. I don't understand
Sweet tooth.
He hopes that she feels the same way. She says that she does. Sean says that he's nervous. She tells him that that's a good thing to have a little bit of butterflies. She says that she had that initial feeling, like that spark when she met him. He whispered, come on, baby, can't wait for the kiss tonight in the game. And she said, well, it's too early to be kissing. It's literally like my first 24 hours. Oh, man. Then he gets to apologize. And she says, she has more. She wants to know more about him. They're still strangers, and they'll get to it when they're ready.
While they was walking to the hideaway, the women was like, whoa, Sean, that's kind of too fast. That's kind of too bold. You get what I'm saying? Like Jess and Harry and all that stuff. Even they was like, oh, you have some cojones. Yeah. You know what I mean? What did you think about this scene with Sean?
I just thought it was so odd. And even though Sean and Matilda's chats are going good, I wouldn't enjoy the chats. Really? They just seem awkward and uncomfortable to me, and I can understand, like, this is a new person you're talking to, so the conversation, of course, isn't going to flow perfectly. Yeah. But Sean is just like, you brought me here to kiss me, is what it feels like.
It's matter of fact, exactly.
And it's not like you're actually sitting down asking me questions like how Omar was doing, even like, what's your love language? Just tell me more about yourself, like actually trying to get to know her. Sean was like, remember what I whispered in your ear?
I want to kiss you.
Now's the time. And I'm just like, that's how I'm starting to understand why Sean ain't getting no play. Yeah, to be honest.
Man. Yeah, so. Listen, Sean, you just don't have it, buddy. Yeah. You just don't have it. Let's keep going.
So as everyone's getting ready for bed, Matilda thinks that Sean is really sweet.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Uma tells Mimi not to take the Io situation to heart, but Mimi is wondering, like, why was he not thinking? Yeah. Harriett is crying. Jess tells her that the situation with Ronnie just got escalated as Ronnie's walking by.
And Ronnie didn't say nothing to the girl.
No.
All he said was, I don't want to talk to you. Ronnie got these women wrapped around his finger.
So as the lights cut down, Uma and Will are kissing under the covers. She told them that they had to wait until the lights were off.
Listen here, even when they was kissing under the covers, she was acting like she was like a little kid sneaking in like her parents' house or something like that. Listen here, Uma, I just want it for you. However you got to get it however you got to do it. Baby steps, whatever it is. It's just interesting seeing this from an adult.
Do you think Will is going to get annoyed by her immaturity?
Yes. Yes. Unless he's a simp. Unless he's a square himself. But someone who is basically like completely, and I'm not saying you got to be on top of the covers, but the way they was under the covers, it was like, okay, there is a way of, I don't want everyone in my business, compared to I'm sneaking and doing something. Yeah. So it just came off as if she's sneaking, and it was like, we're kissing, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah, after a while, you don't want to be dating a little girl, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's the next morning. Yeah. Uma confirms that they did kiss last night.
Ooh.
Harriett is feeling better today. Yeah. She does feel like the situation was blown out of proportion with Ronnie.
Facts.
Mimi honestly doesn't want to hear any type of BS excuses from Io today.
Well, what do you mean hear any excuses? You didn't even pull to talk to him yet.
Exactly.
I'm about to say, like, you ain't pull to talk to him, but okay.
So Matilda gets some special treatment today. Omar brings her coffee. Sean also brings her coffee.
Oh, Sean, you ain't see Omar making coffee for her and go, I'm going to abort.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could have made her breakfast, to be honest, but
don't make her nothing.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? He already made her coffee. You know.
Well, Ronnie feels that he is changing for the better.
See?
Ayo kissed Uma because he had a connection with her in the past. He was just being honest. This is what we're going to hear from Ayo all day. He was being honest. Jess felt that her kiss with Connor was all right. She'll chat with him today, but she does feel happy just to be picked and chosen in the game.
Yeah, you were about to go home, sister, but guess what? You're still in danger.
Yeah. Tiffany is hoping that there's no drama today, and she really would just like Harriett and Ronnie to squash their issues.
And this is my problem with Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany, you got the guy. You don't have to orchestrate Ronnie to go talk to Harriett.
Yeah.
However, Ronnie want to handle that, let him handle that. You just focus on being with the guy.
Well, Matilda told Jess, Nicole, and Tiffany that she liked that Sean stole her for a chat. He was marking his territory in a sense. They advised her today just to sit back and see who comes to her.
Okay.
Well, Omar and Sean are having a chat. They're both into the same girl. And Omar is pretty much laying down rules of engagement, you could say. If we're talking, you don't have to pull her away from me. Like, we're both going to want to do our own things. But if we're constantly pulling each other from our conversations with her, nobody is going to get anywhere with her. There's a way we can be respectful about it. And they dap on it. But at the end of the conversation, Sean pretty much was just like, you know, the conversation was a bit over the top. He's going to make his stand on things. So Sean pretty much says, F what you talking about.
And that's the problem, Sean. You've been hanging around the ladies too much. That when a man come and tells you directly how he wants to address the situation, you kind of like, okay, and then you dap him up. And besides you actually like saying what you really feel, you wait until, you know, you basically be passive aggressive with it, give him a dap, and then you talk to us like, well, I came here for love, not Omar. Well, why didn't you say that to him?
Exactly.
Because were you afraid that he gonna smack you or something like that? Like that's what I mean with Sean. It just, things don't seem natural. I understand I said get the boys off the island and Sean needs to try, but if this is what Sean looks like trying, just pull it back a little bit. Because the thing about it is, Sean is moving so weird that you can't really pinpoint what he's doing wrong. It's to the point where you just say, scrap everything, start over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Start over.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is.
Well, Omar goes to chat to Matilda. Yeah. He explains what he said to Sean. But Matilda said that she actually found it ballsy what Sean did. Yeah. Everyone is pretty much finding it ballsy what Sean did.
Yeah, and not in a way of... Not in a complimentary way, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. You thought there was a little bit of shade to it?
It's pandering. It's like, oh, look at him.
Yeah, like, oh, Sean, you're really doing something now.
It's like that. It's not. It's not like a commendable. It's like, oh, look at Sean. But it's kind of like they don't expect it from you. Yeah. So when you do be bold and be courageous or be a man, they overpraise you for it.
It's like you're a toddler who's just like...
who's learning how to walk.
Exactly.
You know?
So Harriett and Sean talk.
Yeah.
Sean thinks that Harriett should just be done with the Ronnie situation, have a conversation for closure. Don't let him move you off your square. Harriett ain't trying to hear all that. She's asking Sean, so do you think he was acting? It was weird, wasn't it? And Sean was just like, yeah, it was weird.
Of course.
Moving on to Ronnie and Tiffany.
Yeah.
He tells her that his eyes are only on her. She's happy. She feels like things are going well with them. He says that sex is in the air. Love is in the air. Last time he had sex was end of last year. She says December, but she doesn't quite believe him, is what I gathered. Ronnie thinks that he and Tiffany have really good energy going.
Yeah, what Ronnie is doing right now, he's trying to put the best foot forward. He's trying to hold back the real him. You get what I'm saying? That inner him, that past him, that's basically like, you know, I'm going to talk to every girl. I'm going to connect with every girl. You know what I mean? I'm not going to turn down anything. So now he's kind of he's willing his way into being a good guy. He's like, you know what? I'm really into you. He's willing his way, right? But I don't think it's going to work.
I don't really see the connection there, to be honest. I mean, I don't see... Like, Tiffany doesn't give much when it comes to conversation. No. And I just felt like the other girls he was talking to had more personality than her.
I just don't think...
I mean, she's a beautiful girl, but I don't see Ronnie, like, actually being drawn to her. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I see... even when they was kissing in bed, it was like... I think Ronnie is trying to turn over a new leaf. And he just using this girl as an example of, look at me, I'm not this bad guy as y'all think I am. But unfortunately, I don't think he's into her. I think he's just trying to clean his name up. And then we see how... We will really see how Ronnie is when the new bombshells come in. I understand Matilda just came in. But when more women come in, or basically when they go to the other island, we will really see how Ronnie is. Is he really a changed guy or is he acting?
Yeah. So Mimi pulls Io for a chat.
Finally.
She would have preferred that he pick someone else.
Okay.
Io tells her, it was a game. I was being honest.
Yeah, I feel like you're gaslighting me a little bit.
Mimi says that I thought you would have thought about it based off of the situation we were all in.
Mm-hmm.
Io says that he did think about it and he wasn't going to cop out. Mimi figured, it probably would have been best for you to go ahead and cop out. That's what she would have done in that situation to preserve his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
He apologizes, he hugs her, and he reassures her that there's nothing between him and Uma. So...
And the thing about it is, they kiss and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But the problem that Mimi have in this situation is that she said, if it was me, I would have preserved your feelings. But you put yourself in a position where it would never be you, Mimi.
That's true.
You only have eyes and only put all your eggs in the IO basket. So sometimes you can't tell people, this is what you should have did, or basically like in this situation, do this. Sometimes they gotta feel it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta do unto others what they don't want done to them. Mm-hmm. I know that's not the way it's supposed to be said, but if I see that you are selfish and you only think about yourself and you talking about like I'm not gonna cop out, it's a game, then guess what? I'm gonna play a game. I'm not gonna cop out, and then maybe you will feel me besides hear me.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Well said. Grace and Joey talk. They joke about both being open, but they're not really open.
No.
If Joey wasn't there, she says that she would probably get to know Omar.
Poor Omar.
But that's pretty much the end of the conversation. I mean, they're locked down. I mean, we see it.
Yeah.
Sean and Matilda talk. He couldn't wait any longer and had to do what he did, is what he's telling her, as far as snatching her away from Omar. He's not going to sit around and wait for it. He wants to walk out of here with Matilda, not Omar. He says the energy has already changed between him and Omar. Matilda, honestly, is just trying to get to know them both.
Yeah.
My thing with Sean is this was another opportunity for you to get to know Matilda, but now you're talking about Omar and the sticky situation you found yourself in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if you're going to be bold, be bold. Don't be bold and talking about I got some backlash and all this type of stuff. Like, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep the conversation the main thing. Like, I'm just like, Sean, you're acting a little scary now.
Yeah, and you gotta understand something, that when it comes to, hold on, was this the conversation where Sean was talking to Joey at first and Joey called her over?
No.
Okay. Whenever it comes to Sean, I think the thing that hurts Sean as well is that he keeps telling people, I only have eyes for you. Right? To where like he's not sought after.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, women don't want a guy that's not sought after, especially in this type of thing, right? And I think that don't help Sean. And the times that Sean do be bold, he also apologizes in the next sentence. If you're gonna make the mistake, or if you're gonna make that move, be unapologetic about that move. You know what I'm saying?
As long as nobody's feelings is hurt. He didn't have to apologize her for wanting to kiss and cut and
exactly.
What is it?
Like,
the hideaway? Yeah,
no.
he didn't have to apologize for that. Well, Grace and Nicole talk. They're both in really good places in their couples. Grace says that Omar has pulled her for some flirty chats before, but she never really brought it up to Joey because, number one, she can't remember exactly what he said. And she's like, it's not like it's a big situation to where Joey should feel away or think that somebody's coming for his girl.
True.
Ronnie and Tiffany talk. Ronnie feels like a weight is off his shoulder with the Harriett situation. Now it's just him and Tiffany he can focus on. And Tiffany says, you probably should still speak to her, though. But he doesn't want to. Tiffany is like, maybe just hear her out.
Look, man, you don't understand. I went to sleep with this girl. I'm trying not to talk to her. I'm trying to cut her off. I'm trying to be a good guy. Ronnie is just trying to talk himself into this good guy role that he's acting or not acting in. He's like, I really enjoy being with you. I'm happy those people are in the past. And she keeps trying to put the other devil on his shoulder. Yeah. She's like, go back and talk to them. And he's like, I'm not trying to because it won't be good for you. Okay, I'm really trying to be nice here. Yeah. But you keep pushing me and maybe I will go talk to them. The next thing you know, we kissing.
So Omar is talking to Matilda. They're chatting in the pool.
Yeah.
Matilda likes to be picked up and to feel little. They're laughing. Sean is sitting in the corner annoyed.
Of course.
Harriett recommends that he walk over and ask if she wants some ice cream. And Sean is thinking, well, maybe I'll do a gym session and maybe she can just see me in the background working out. They talk about what they're both physically into, eyes, toes, all that type of stuff.
Talk about Omar and Matilda.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sean ends up going to grab Joey to get some advice. Mm-hmm. Joey says, Omar's been over her all day. Mm-hmm. Sean says that his chats with Matilda are going good, though. Mm-hmm. Joey says, you really need to think about yourself. Okay, actually grab her now. She just walked away, so go ahead and grab her. Mm-hmm. And instead of Sean, getting up and hurrying up, mm-hmm. Joey calls her over, and he's just like, actually, I think you should talk to Sean. So
you're a kid, man. Get the boys off the island.
So Sean and Matilda talk, and Matilda said, I guess you didn't want to come over when I was speaking to Omar, huh?
Wow.
And I'm just like, that ballsy action is looking a little less ballsy every time we talk. Mm-hmm. Sean says that he doesn't want to suffocate her. She does not feel suffocated. He says he's not going to slow down, and if he has to crash more chats, then that's probably what he'll do. Doesn't look like that's what you're going to do. Matilda does fancy him. He says he has a kind heart, and he tells her she has a kind heart and big boobs. Well, okay. I'm just like,
Sean,
you know what?
Sean, go home. No.
If Matilda likes it, I love it.
No, here's the thing. I think Matilda is basically patting him on top of the head. That's basically like, I just think she's not a rude girl. She hasn't shown herself to be rude.
Right.
And just as simple, he's talking to women too much about his problems. Mm-hmm. Even though he's close with Harriett, even though I think he's coupled with Harriett. I think the fact that she's giving you some dumb advice, like maybe you should get her some ice cream and stuff like that. Like, yo, be a man and say, I want to talk to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just that plain and simple. And then you had your homeboy basically say, hey, I got a friend for you. Come over here.
Exactly.
And then he goes away, and now it makes you look like a baby. It makes you look like the junior of the villa.
Yeah.
And why would she want to be with someone?
And that's not attractive.
And why would she want to be with a guy that everybody view as the junior of the villa?
Yeah.
I
think, like you said, Sean needs to start from scratch. Have a good night's rest and just start over new and stop being strange.
And make mistakes and don't apologize for it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
So Tiffany and Jess talk. She feels like there's something off with Ronnie. She's not 100% there with him as far as her connection and chemistry. Mm-hmm. Jess says that you really should talk to him about it, but she is a little hesitant too because she doesn't know what it is. I think it's just that y'all don't have chemistry.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't click.
Yeah.
Y'all get along fine, but it's not there.
And she's talking to Jess, right?
Yeah.
I think Jess said something across the lines of like you said you want to be further along with Ronnie. Like how? Like you just got here.
Yeah.
Like so it's not going to click as well as Harriett and Ronnie, Jess and Ronnie, even Nicole and Ronnie, because he's been around these women all this time. So I think she's wanting more, but I think she's wanting more because she's feeling that they're not it. You get what I'm saying? And Ronnie is basically giving lip service to something and trying to will it with lip service more than the actual knowing that is happening and that it's there,
Yeah. And that's all we got.
That's it? Mm-hmm. Listen here, I have a PSA. Listen, tonight we are going to do Love Island USA, but that's going to be released tomorrow because I have dinner reservations for my wife tonight that she's just finding out right now at the moment. Right?
How sweet.
So I'm taking the night off. Okay? I've been working. I'm here by myself sometimes. So I'm taking the night off and I'm taking my wife out tonight. So I'm off for the rest of the night. Okay? That's it? You good?
That's it. Let's go eat.
All right.
Okay.